I haven't seen you in a long time, and I've never got a chance to thank you in public or in person about what you did for me way back in the day, and that was when I created Austin 316 due to a match that I had with you. Yeah. Vader roughed you up pretty good. Yeah. Worked over your ribs. Mark Merrill had kicked me in the mouth. I went to the hospital. Did a good job of it, too. He did a good job.
I like that phony blood capsule you used.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was the phony blood capsule that everybody talks about. Yeah, chicken blood. So I go to the hospital, get stitched up. As soon as I get out of the ambulance, I got my stuff on because you and me are going to go. Yep. And Michael PSAs comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, Steve, before you go to the ring, I just want you to know before you do the King of Ring acceptance speech, Jake cut a religious-based promo on you." And that's when I came up with the Austin 316 thing. See, and I always think, Jake, in my career, nothing would have happened. It would have no reason to happen. I wouldn't have created that because it was just organic. Right. So if I had not been wrestling you in that damn final match at King of the Ring, if P.S. Hayes had not told me what you said, if you'd not have said that, Austin 316 would have never been born. And then, because Stone Cold said so, wouldn't have been born either. So I basically owe my whole WWE run to you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because, if you owe me for anything, you owe me for sticking up for you in the fucking office.
Well, tell me about sticking up in the office. What happened? And when was this? Was this WCW or WWE?
No, this is WWE. My father had seen you in WCW, and he gave me the angst to say, "Son, this guy will take some time to get over, but if he ever gets over, he'll be gone forever." He said, just get an eye on it. So when you came up here, of course, they had you saddled on the wrong pony and doing all this wrong stuff. And I was in the office, and they're like, well, every time your name would come up, I'd say, guys, you just need to get on this guy and ride him hard for a long period of time, give him some time to get over. He gets over old school style. He wrestles. Powers and B said, well, we look for him to be through third or fourth match.
Right.
And I said, that's just total bullshit. So when he gave me the opportunity to get with you and work with you, you don't think I wouldn't? Oh, man. I was like, that's somebody's going to get over if I had to pull my damn teeth out, because I respected what you were doing out there. You weren't afraid to go back and wrestle a bit. And if you remember King of the Ring, we grabbed the damn hole.
But the thing about it, and they made it a short match due to the damage you sustained, due to the fact that it had 14 stitches that they didn't want to come back out. So it was a short ride, bad landing. Famous promo you cut on Undertaker when you slammed his hand and into that casket. But I always appreciated what you did for me. And the fact of the matter is, my career would not have happened if that promo hadn't been said. I'd probably still been Jake. Maybe I would have been a star. Or maybe I've just been
you got somewhere because
mechanic.
You got somewhere because you were that driven. Please do it for you. I did it for wrestling. Wrestling needed you, and I hate to think today what wrestling would have been without you.
Yeah, but let's talk about what wrestling would have been without you, because I want to go back to your start. You're a second generation guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you were trained by Buck Robley. And also a little bit with your father.
No,
okay,
really.
but it's listed.
Just at home.
Okay, just at home. But, and I know that that's a strained relationship. So when I read that, I was wondering really how hands-on was the training, because I didn't think you guys had that. Okay.
He took me out in the backyard one time and chopped me 3 or 4 times and said I was a pussy and I'd never make it.
Right.
That was his training.
Gotcha.
And the only advice my father ever gave me is some that I should have taken to heart. And if I'd taken that to heart, I'd have me one of these damn buildings. What he told me, son, you can make money or you can be one of the boys. Son of a bitch, why didn't I get that?
Say that one more time.
You can make money or you can be one of the boys.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cold.
Right.
It's so straight. It's so right.
Right.
But because of the issues I dealt with early in my life, man, I wanted to fit in. I wanted everybody to like me.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
We're going to come back to that. I want to go to Buck Robley and training you, because I want to talk about your style. When I describe your style, and you're one of my favorites of all time, and I hold you in very high regard with the in-ring work and the promo, the total package, and of course the gimmick. But with respect to your style, your level of athleticism wasn't great.
Nope.
You're one of the greatest of all time. What was the genesis of what Buck Robley taught you?
Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Don't do stupid shit. Don't do something the fan can't believe. People go out and they destroy their own credibility nightly. They go out and do 6 clotheslines and one of them's a little off. Or they do 6 clotheslines. I'm sorry, but you didn't beat the sumbitch.
Right.
So what are you?
Right.
You're not a man. You're not a great wrestler. You're just some guy that's doing this long, right. So Buck would tell you, God damn it, do one thing, do it right.
Right.
100%. And get all that you can out of it. In other words, make that guy sell for you.
Right.
Because that makes your shit stronger.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you hit him with a punch or you drop toe, it doesn't matter. So less is more type stuff. I mean, when I'm teaching kids about credibility, I hit them with this one. Let's just say I came into town and I took you out and got you messed up and you wound up sleeping with a midget. Never had cheated on your wife, not one time in your whole life. Man, you woke up the next morning, you felt so damn bad about it, you wanted to get honest with her. So you went and told her the truth. And you told her, I've never, ever, ever cheated on you before. Well, last night I screwed a midget. Does she believe you? No. You destroyed your credibility. Right. Same thing with the fans. Yeah. When you go out there and do stuff that they can't get their head around, then you're just another phony wrestler.
Right.
Not a phony wrestler. Okay. See, that's one of the reasons you got over is because you did stuff that a real man would do.
Let me ask you something. What you said a while ago, you told the higher-ups, keep watching this guy. It's going to take him a long time to get over, but when he gets over, he's going to stay over because Blackjack Mulligan, George Animal Steel, Jerry Briscoe, all of those guys that were agents when I came into the WWF were telling me the same thing. And at the time, they were pushing Mankind.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. They were pushing Vader.
They were getting over quick.
Mark Henry. They were pushing Mark Merrow. They didn't have any plans for me, but those guys would watch what I was doing and tell me the same thing. With respect to you, and breaking in with learning from Buck and starting in 74, 75, down there in the South, Louisiana territory. How long did it take you to put the pieces together? First of all, mechanic wise, being able to just have a match.
For me?
Yeah. Okay. And then get the psychology part of it down.
I was probably the worst wrestler that ever started in this business. I sucked.
I saw old matches of you working with Barry Windham in the early
days.
Those
were good.
Yes, they were.
Those were great. I'm talking about when I first started. I had no business in the damn ring. The only reason I got jobs is because they thought Grizzly, that bullshit. And I was so bad, they turned me into a referee.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then tell me this, because working with, in the prime of your career, watching all the badass stuff you did, and I always say you worked an economic type style because you didn't use a whole lot of moves because they all meant something, and your purpose was to always go for that DDT. You're trying to finish a match, correct?
Right.
So when you started, if you're as bad as you say you were, what kind of moveset did you have?
Well,
because you hadn't invented the DDT yet.
No, that's back when I was doing 100 damn moves, And I'd go out there, and that's when I learned less is more. Because I was going out there and beating the shit out of myself, trying to do stuff I wasn't capable of doing. Right. But Buck Robley had me in Kansas City, and I got fired in Kansas City for smoking pot. And Dick Murdoch, thank you. He told on me, so Pat O'Connor fired me. And Buck stood up and said, guys, if you're going to smoke pot, come over to my place. Fuck you, O'Connor, and that's Buck. Buck told me, we made a couple road trips, and he says, look, you need to go someplace where they don't know you, and you don't know any of them, because that's your problem. You're walking around here trying to be you when you should be trying to be something else. Develop a character, in other words.
Right.
He said, you got a long road trip ahead of you. You're going to drive from here to British Columbia.
Okay, now why did he feel like you need to go to Canada? Or
because I wouldn't try anything. Because I was so intimidated by watching all these guys I'd watched wrestle my father all my life.
Right.
It scared the bejesus out of me.
Right.
I just cringed when I'd see him Bob Sweetown. He was a scary son of a bitch to me. Later on, I find out a little bit different. Right. Buck Robley was a scary son of a bitch. I got to hanging around Buck, and I realized,
I never got a chance to see a whole lot of Buck's work. How good of a hand was he?
He was great. He was great psychologist. Great psychologist, and again, not the good body at all,
Right.
But he was constantly breaking that arm and loading the gimmick,
Right.
But he worked that. But his interviews were petrifying, because you just looked at him and you knew he's a sick son of a bitch. And guess what? He was.
Right. So when you went to Canada, what was his discovery?
When I went to Canada, all the way out there, I was smoking a little pot and drinking a little beer all damn way, because that's the way I rolled back then.
I think we all did.
Yeah, and I told myself, you're going to be somebody completely damn different. So I put a little Dusty Rhodes in it. And a smart man knows where to steal his good stuff. There ain't nothing new.
You're right.
Smart man knows where to steal good stuff. And you know, you don't want to copy someone bit for bit because it'll never happen. But you got to take a little piece of this, a little piece of that, and put it together. So I made up my mind that when I arrived there, I wasn't going to talk like Aurelian Smith. I was going to talk like Jay Crockett, man. And Jay Crockett's a bad motherfucker.
Right.
You know,
But how long did you take to realize you need to be a bad motherfucker?
Oh, when I left Kansas City, I starved to death.
Right.
I was tired of getting fired. You know, back those days, you know, when you went to a territory, you wanted to stay there 6 months to a year.
Right.
That way you could pay for your moving expenses and all that.
Right.
I was lasting 2 months.
Who were the guys that were working on top in Canada at that time? What did the roster look like?
That was very key for me because there wasn't nothing.
Gotcha.
Gene Kaniski would come through every now and then, and whoever was on top, he'd beat him. Of course, he looked like hell. But Moose Morowski, Big John Quinn, great talents, you know. But Moose Morowski's the one that he was getting ready to go to Japan, and he took me under his wing and said, "I want to make money with you, kid." And he took me out there and beat the living bejesus out of me.
You working baby?
I was babyface. He was big.
So what did he see in this young, gangly kid?
He just liked me and maybe the respect that I gave him.
Right.
And the hunger. I was always hungry to get better, but I just didn't know how to do it. I was too intimidated by people that I'd watched.
What'd you learn from Moose that was different from what Buck taught you?
Now, damn, protect yourself when he's got a blade. Bitch, he capped me on the leg one time, man. He grabbed my damn leg and went like this, and he cut me from here to there, brother, about that long. You know, and that's just to protect. I learned from Moose to listen and to sell properly without dying.
Right.
Which is really big.
Right.
And the other thing I learned from Moose is, you're not 300 pounds, you're not a strong man, but you don't go into stick man mode and lay there.
Right.
So people are going to walk out.
Right.
So he would constantly push me around the ring.
Right.
I'd be so damn blown up because I was so scared of him.
Right.
Because he suplexed me 92 different ways from hell and beat the living crap out of me. But I think he was doing that to show people I was tough.
Right. So what is your mindset when you go into Canada? You're going in as a baby, but you're trying to get over.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go to your heel psychology about getting over because I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit different. But okay, you're working with Moose.
Sell.
What is okay?
Sell. Babyface, that's sell.
Thank you.
That's what they've missed today.
God.
Nobody sells shit today.
Right.
Destroy is like that girl. Old man messed around. She'll never believe that sumbitch.
Right.
And when you destroy your own credibility.
Right.
It makes me sick when I see a guy like wants to go out there and act like he's 300 damn pounds. Son of a bitch, man. You're a good looking son of a bitch. Why don't you use that and get over? Be that baby face that, you know, all the girls want to cry for. Instead, you want to rough up your voice and talk like you're 300 pounds and you won't sell a goddamn thing.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
Right.
Making it harder for everybody.
Right.
There's only one bad son of a bitch on this planet, and it used to be Andre.
Right.
And we're still looking for the other one.
Right.
I got to figure he's part Samoan.
So, but in talking about that selling, and one of the things that I always say as a babyface is, sell, but the goddamn babyface has to have fire.
Oh,
I ain't talking about the manufactured fire.
No.
I think it can be learned, but many times I think either you got it or you don't. Correct?
For the most part.
I mean, it can be learned, but I mean,
There's something special about guys that are babyfaces and great ones like Dusty. I mean, Jesus Christ, Dusty was no great body phenom either. I mean, he'd fire up and he'd fire up for brief, a little bit, and back at him.
Yeah. How long were you in Canada for?
A year.
Okay, you go back.
A year. I go to Japan for 2 months.
How was Japan for you?
I got the living shit beat out of me.
I thought you were going to say that.
Because I'll tell you why.
Were they working strong style back then?
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
I sucked.
Yeah.
Didn't sell shit.
Right.
But the reason I got beat up is because my photo that I sent over to get booked wasn't quite right. I took a picture with Andre.
Right.
And I stepped 2 feet out in front of him. So I looked about the same height.
Right.
So when I got over there, I come off that airplane and I'm looking. Well, I see all those IWC suits, they all, remember those nice jumpsuits they used to hand out to everybody? I see them over there. I'm like,
they were expecting you to
yeah. Finally, they look at, and from that point on, I was known as Shit Boy.
Yeah.
You Sith boy.
Is that a shoot?
Yeah. And I did a cage match every damn night I was there.
Right.
2 damn months straight, bro. He beat the living shit out of me for lying to him.
So did you ever go back?
Yeah, I wound up working for him quite a bit, actually, because I knew a lot of talent over here, and I knew a lot of cheap talent over here.
Right.
And that company wasn't Baba, wasn't Inoki. It was called International. And they were wanting guys that were reasonably priced. And these are guys that never even been in Japan. Right. You know, Mike Boyette.
Right.
You know, and guys like that, you know. And so I sent them a lot of talent. You know, I saved their ass one time because one of the guys I booked over there, a guy by the name of Turk, he took some pot over there and they called him at the airport and busted him.
Yeah.
And they called me in the middle of the night and hell, I just walked out of where I was at and went over there. I mean, I could make 5 times the damn money.
Right.
So I saved the tour for them, so they really appreciated that. And then I went one step further. You know, back then they always wanted to get the Japanese boys over here.
Right.
And they had a kid named Hara. He was a great football player, soccer player. And they turned him into a wrestler. Good-looking son of a bitch. But he needed some seasoning. And I brought him to Louisiana for 6 months. And he got that seasoning. And from that point on, I had a pretty good relationship with him.
Gotcha.
But I still got beat up.
Okay, so you end up you have to go to Canada because you've got to find yourself. You end up going to Japan and get the shit kicked out of you
back
because you're supposed to be a giant and you ain't.
Yeah.
When did you come up?
Then it got worse.
But you weren't the snake. It got worse from there.
Oh goddamn! I went Stu Hart.
Oh
hell yeah!
Tell me about the Calgary territory.
Oh my God! What's the tell? That was a goddamn zoo. Me and JYD.
And what about the road trips?
He was Sylvester Ritta at the time. Black.
Did he have the charisma back then?
Yeah.
Was he drawn back in?
Yeah. He was a heel. Everybody hated that son of a bitch.
Really?
Yeah. So he went as that pimp, you know. He could put that stuff on, brother, like gold chains and stuff and shoes and stuff, and just had that look about him, you know. And me with my interviews was pretty easy.
Yeah. What was the brand of wrestling that was going on back then?
And in Stu Hart's territory is a D.
Right.
There were some moments of brilliance.
Right.
Because you had some talent there. Talent that was growing.
Who's the talent?
Well, damn sure wasn't me. I was pretty decent, and they put me in the main event slot with JYD. All the talent was one guy.
Brett?
Tom Billington.
Tom Billington.
Yeah.
Dynamite Kid.
Damn right.
Right.
And Brett was just starting, and Billington would just school the shit out of him. Another English boy by the name of Marty Jones was there.
Yeah,
and he would school some people too.
Yeah,
so that was very interesting to watch.
Really?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot by watching them. And I had a few matches with Dynamite.
Okay, you're working with Dynamite. Mm-hmm. Okay, you working heel or baby? I
was babyface.
Okay, now he's a naturally salty guy.
Oh, son of a bitch, yeah.
So who's calling the match?
Damn right he was. I didn't say a damn word, bro. I remember one night. You know, it's different back then, you know. You could do stuff. Like if some fan was heckling you in the audience and you took it personal, you could just get out of the ring and go take care of it.
Yeah.
Well, Dynamite did. One night we were, I think, in Edmonton, Alberta or something. He had me down there working the arm. He says, Jake, don't fucking move. Okay? And he let go of my arm.
Yeah.
Walked down in the audience, 5 rows back, just paintbrushed some bitch like crazy. Walked back in the room, I still got my arm stuck in the air.
Are you sure?
Hell no. I was scared to move.
Yeah. What was he like back then? I kind of went off the rails.
Unbelievable.
He had an unbelievable
talent.
Yeah.
Probably that guy should have been so much more than he was. You know, he beat himself up pretty much in Canada even before he got to the WWE.
Right.
But he wasn't as big.
Right.
And he can move back.
Right.
I mean, really, do you really want that to happen? He can move better?
Right.
Holy shit, he was a machine, you know. And with Brett.
Well, how did you guys compensate for the size difference? Kind of, he was a smaller guy, especially before he got jacked up, and you're 6'6".
He wrestled and his attitude.
Right.
You know, it's not about your size, it's about perception.
But I mean, what was the style that you guys wrestled?
Oh, he went behind me, fucking took my ass down.
Right.
Grabbed an arm. He wrestled.
Right.
You know, he was a damn terror. He was that goddamn Wolverine on your ass.
Right.
You know, and that's what I try to explain to guys today. You don't have to be 10 foot tall. You know, wrestle smart.
Right.
Don't go out there and try to beat your chest and be damn King Kong when you're 5'7". You've got, as a baby face, you're going to get sympathy from it. As a heel, you can be just full of tenacity and be a rotten son of a bitch. You know, and everybody knows, guess what? God damn it, he's not big enough to beat so-and-so, but he cheats like a bastard, and he does this, he does that.
Yeah.
There's your heat, son.
Right.
I'm not trying to be equal.
Right.
Your heat comes from your situation.
But at this time in you guys' careers, you're both still relatively young, right?
Oh, yeah. We were moving.
So, but he seems to me, just in you talking about him, was a little bit wise beyond his years.
Oh, he was.
Okay.
He was. Yeah, he grew up in wrestling.
Right.
Really wrestling.
Okay.
Real wrestling.